ओम ज्ञानतिमिनन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रता सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम। In last session we discussed yes. What? Yeah, voice is not clear. I'm calling back. Am I audible?
प्रभु जी थोड़ा नेटवर्क इशू है आपकी साइड से।
हाँ अब तो आ रहा होगा। अभी मैंने लोकेशन चेंज की। आपको स्लाइड दिख रही है आप लोगों को?
जी प्रभु जी।
ठीक है। तो लास्ट क्लास में हमने ये डिस्कस किया था कि जो हमारा भगवत गीता का थर्ड सेक्शन है 13 to 18 चैप्टर, वो पूरा सांख्य योगा और ज्ञान योगा का ही एलैबोरेशन है। और इसलिए भगवान लिख रहे हैं 14 चैप्टर में फर्स्ट और सेकंड वर्स में कि वंस यू अटेन दिस नॉलेज देयर इज नो बेटर नॉलेज टू अटेन। और ये सेंटेंस जो है वो भगवान भगवत गीता में कई जगह देखते हैं। 9 चैप्टर में भी लिखा है, राज विद्या राजगुह्यम पवित्रमिदम प्रत्यक्ष भगवान धर्म सुसुखम कर्तुम। तो ऐसा क्यों, मतलब 14 चैप्टर इतना इंपॉर्टेंट क्यों है? कोई आंसर करना चाहेगा? फर्स्ट 2 वर्सेस में क्लियरली कृष्णा लिखा है।
क्योंकि इसमें मोड्स के बारे में डिस्कस किया गया है। हरे कृष्ण।
यस यस, मोड्स ऑफ नेचर के बारे में डिस्कस किया है। तो इम्पोर्टेंट कैसे क्यों हुआ फिर? क्योंकि हमारी रोजमर्रा जिंदगी में ये काम आ सकता है ना, हम कैसे अपनी लाइफ को एग्जीक्यूट कर रहे हैं, किस टाइम क्या कर रहे हैं, किस मोड में कर रहे हैं, वो हमें पता कर सकते हैं इस चैप्टर को जानने से। तो जैसा हमने डिस्कस किया कि 13 चैप्टर में जो क्षेत्र और क्षेत्रज्ञ जो सब्जेक्ट है, उन दोनों के इंट्रैक्शंस ये इन 3 मोड्स के थ्रू ही होता है। पुरुष प्रकृतिस्थो ही भुंक्ते प्रकृति जान गुणान कारणम गुण संगोस्य सदसद योनि जन्म। तो हमारा जो गुण और कर्मा होता है उस हिसाब से हम अपने इस मटेरियल नेचर से इंटरेक्ट करते हैं, और उस इंटरेक्शन के बेसिस पे हम अपने डिफरेंट मल्टीपल स्पीसीज लेते रहते। सद असद योनि जन्म, सत और असत। तो जो कॉज है, द कॉज ऑफ कंटिन्यूएशन ऑफ दिस साइकिल ऑफ बर्थ एंड डेथ इज दिस इंटरेक्शन विद द मटेरियल नेचर इन द 3 मोड्स ऑफ नेचर। लेकिन अगर हम इस 14 चैप्टर को अभी जो आज हम वर्सेस पढ़ने वाले हैं उसमें ये भी बताया जाएगा कि हाउ यू कैन ट्रांसेंड दिस 3 मोड्स एंड इवन इन दिस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड, इवन विद दिस मटेरियल बॉडी यू कैन एक्ट बियॉन्ड द 3 मोड्स, you can transcend these 3 modes. So that's why this knowledge is very important, because this knowledge helps you to cultivate a spiritual conception of life. It helps you how you can become Krishna conscious, how you can achieve transcendental goodness even in this material. तो हमने लास्ट सेक्शन में ये डिस्कस किया कि पहले ये नॉलेज इंपॉर्टेंट क्यों है, उसके बाद भगवान बताते हैं कि क्रिएशन कैसे होता है। जो महातत्व होता है उसमें महाविष्णु सोल से इम्प्रेग्नेट करते हैं, है ना। तो जब महाविष्णु इम्प्रेग्नेट करते हैं उसके बाद फिर महातत्व एजिटेट होता है और फिर यूनिवर्स में क्रिएशन होता है। और इसीलिए ऐसा कहा जाता है कि सर्व योनिषु कौन्तेय मूर्तया संभवन्ति या तासाम ब्रह्म महद्योनिर अहम बीज प्रदापित। So Krishna is the Pradapita, because we are part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna is impregnating the Pradhan with these spirit souls. That's why we are coming from Krishna himself. We belong to Krishna actually. Our senses belong to Krishna. So Krishna in this 4th verse, he is establishing that what is the reality. Our reality is that we are part and parcel of Krishna. We are not this body, we are spirit soul. And then he is giving some context that why we have come in this material world. Because this spirit soul is covered with subtle body of mind, intelligence and false ego. And depending on that configuration of subtle body, we get a particular material body from the Pradhan. So once we arrive in this kshetra, in this body, then what happens? How this soul is interacting with this body in different material modes. This is described further. And in the 5th verse, 5th verse basically talks about that as soon as the soul enters the material body and it starts interacting with the material body, it becomes conditioned by these modes. Because he forgets that he is the spirit soul, he starts identifying with the body. So the root of all of our sufferings and misery is our forgetfulness. As soon as we remember, we are saved. As soon as we forget, we are lost. Yumam pashyati sarvatra sarvam chame pranashyati. Sachamena pranashyati. So basically, one who sees Krishna everywhere, automatically he will be able to understand that he is a spirit soul, he is not this body. And then further in from 6th to 9th verse, it is explained that how there is this competition going on between the three modes. That is given in the 9th verse. 4th, 6th to 8th verse is telling that when you are in primarily in mode of goodness, then you develop this sense of happiness and knowledge. And you feel, because you feel illuminated, you are happy always. And you are able to understand that you are the spirit soul. You are able to experience the presence of super soul. So that's why you become conditioned by this knowledge, by this sense of happiness. And you think that you are better than others. So mode of goodness, although it gives a lot of happiness, a lot of spiritual happiness, but it is also binding. Why mode of goodness is binding? Anybody wants to answer?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
I think due to because for being in good mode of goodness, we have to follow all the things that keep us in mode of goodness. Na? And in case we do not able to follow the any of the parameters, it may happen that we may go to a mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Is it so?
Yeah. Yeah, that what you are explaining is not real to a mode of goodness. Mode of goodness is something which comes naturally. So if we have to follow everything to stay in mode of goodness, that is not the case. That is not spontaneous goodness. But yeah, obviously, if we can follow all the rules and regulations, then there is a greater chance that you can execute some portion of your life in mode of goodness. So actually, the real, anybody else wants to try? Simran Mataji, you are muted. Why mode of goodness is about?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी एग्जैक्ट तो नहीं पता है बट थोड़ा आइडिया ये है कि मतलब हम उसमें खुद को दूसरों से बेटर समझने लगते हैं मतलब
यही है basically मतलब because there is a sense of pride which comes in our heart कि we are better than others, मतलब we have so much knowledge, we are so much illuminated. So that's why that because of that pride we become bound by mode of goodness. So transcendental goodness is we have to cry in front of Krishna. We are very small. We are Anu, Krishna is Vibhu. So when we are able to cry in front of Krishna, then that is actually our real unbinding position. When we are always dependent on Krishna for every action in our life, when we are always able to see Krishna in all the situations, then that is a humble position, that I am so small. Krishna is so great. Krishna is arranging so many living entities in my life to help my devotion, to help my other activities. So when we see Krishna, then actually we are not bound. Then we can achieve transcendence. So we have to cultivate that conception, basically. And in the 7th verse, Krishna is telling that if mode of passion is predominant, then there will be unlimited desires and longings. And because of this, the embodied living entity is bound to material fruitive actions. So just like in company, we see that people want to achieve so many things. They want to buy a car, they want to complete this project, they want to get promoted, they want to go to a restaurant to enjoy the food. So everything is running basically. They don't have time to introspect, they don't have time to slow down and contemplate on higher things basically. What is a spirit soul, where I have come from, where I will go, where I'm, what is my real goal. So all these things they are not able to contemplate. They are just trying to increase their material goals. They are trying to increase their material desires. So that is mode of passion. And mode of ignorance is characterized by ignorance, delusion of all embodied living entities. The result of this mode are madness, indolence, and sleep. So mode of ignorance means you will always would like to sleep, or you would be mad, you would be angry at somebody, you will scold left, right, and center. So, or you will be lazy, you don't feel like doing anything. So all these are signs of mode of ignorance. And even small services you will take a lot of time to do. Even you have to hand it over from one person to another, and you are taking so much time to do that service. So that is mode of ignorance. And in the 9th verse, Krishna says that mode of goodness conditions one to happiness, passion conditions one to fruitive action, and ignorance covering one's knowledge binds one to madness. So all these three modes are basically causing conditioning and causing foundation. From passion, there is fruitive action. From ignorance, there is madness. And from goodness, there is happiness. But it conditions to that happiness. That is actually Brahman happiness. That is not Bhagavadananda. So there are 3 degrees of happiness, which is explained in Nectar of Devotion. Does anybody, like, we will read Nectar of Devotion just after this module. Hopefully, like Abraham Prabhu will teach us. So in Nectar of Devotion, we'll see that there are, like, the starting happiness is Brahmananda, and then there is Paramatmananda, and then there is Bhagavadananda. So Brahmananda means you are able to relish the Brahman effulgence of the Lord. So the Lord Krishna has Sachidanand Vigraha form of the Lord, and there is this Brahman effulgence which is coming out of his body. So this Brahman effulgence, there is some happiness related to that also. So that is called Brahmananda. There was a disciple also of Prabhupada who was named Brahmananda. And then there is Paramatmananda. Like when you feel the presence of Super Soul in your heart, and Super Soul is giving you intelligence, and Super Soul, you can see the Super Soul in others' hearts also. So then you sense some happiness because you are detached from the bodily conception. You are able to see the Lord within the heart. So you experience happiness. There is some joyfulness related to that. And finally, Bhagavadananda is when you are able to relish the Sachidanand Vigraha form of the Lord. You have cultivated the taste for glorifying the Lord, for serving the Lord. Madchitta madgat prana bodhayanta parasparam katyantasya mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. So the great sages, they are always discussing these topics of Krishna, and they are tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They are hearing, and this matter of hearing is so sweet, so nectarian, that they are ramanti cha also. They are relishing it. It's so palatable that they are just relishing it. Proof of the pudding is in the eating. So that is the Sachidanand Vigraha form of the Lord. The glories of the Lord are non-different from the Lord. Nam, Rup, Gun, Leela, they are all actually different rasa of Krishna. ये उड़ गया शिव. So, okay, in 10th verse we read that there is this constant competition going on between the 3 modes of nature. Sometimes some mode is dominant, sometimes some passion is dominant, sometimes ignorance is dominant. And generally the day is divided into 8 prahars actually. 24 hours divided by 3 is 8. So every prahar consists of 3 hours. And during some time of the day, there is goodness. For example, from 3 a.m. to 12 noon, there is goodness. 3 to 6 is transcendence, and from 6 to 12, there is mode of goodness. And from 12 to 6, there is mode of passion. You can do all your office work, all your occupational duty from 12 to 6. And from 6 to 9, again, there is mode of goodness. Whatever bhajan you do in the evening, that is also very potent. Lord Shiva is actually roaming in the sky with all his disciples to see who all is doing bhajan. And that bhajan is counting actually 5 times as compared to the bhajan you do between 12 to 6. So, and after 9 o'clock, again, mode of ignorance starts. From 9 to 3, it's a mode of ignorance time. So at that time, demons are more activated, right? So when Hanuman, all of you know the story of Hanuman, that when Hanuman made the jump to Lanka, what happened? Like there were 3 obstacles which he encountered. Anybody knows what are those 3 obstacles?
One was Sursa, I think. Sursa,
Yeah.
and
First was Manak Mountain, then there is Surasa, then Simhika, then Lankini. So the Manak mountain represented the obstacle in mode of goodness. So Manak mountain was a mountain which, like he has been favored in this by the father of Hanuman, who is wind god. Wind god did some favor to Manak mountain, and that's why Manak mountain wanted to do some favor to Hanuman in exchange. And that's why Manak mountain requested Hanuman that you are on a very long journey. Why don't you take some rest? Spend one night here, take some fruits, drink some lemon juice, drink some sugarcane juice. I have all the opulences. It will soothe your senses. All your tiredness will be gone. So take some rest. So this was daytime when Hanuman reached Manak mountain. And does anybody know what did Hanuman reply to Manak?
There was a demon who was waiting for him when he went for bathing, and he was supposed to catch him, and he was about to murder him. He was sent by Ravana, I think. It's some
Okay.
like, but
But yeah, there were demons who will be sent to catch Hanuman. That will be Lankini and later. But here Menaka, to Menaka's proposal, Hanuman said that Hanuman just reciprocated with his gratitude. He just touched him and he said, "Thank you very much. I'm very grateful to you that you are offering me these things." But the problem is that in the evening, the demons will be more strong. If I decide to spend some time here on the mountain and try to rest, then in the evening I will not be able to fight the demons in Lanka. I will not be able to escape Sita Mata. So here you see that Hanuman is totally fixed on his goal. He is not getting allured by the distractions which is put by even the obstacle of mode of goodness. And then with Surasa, he is having some negotiations. He becomes small. He enters into the mouth. And with Simhika, he doesn't have any negotiation also. He directly kills her. So Surasa represents mode of passion demon, and Simhika represents mode of ignorance demon. So with ignorance, we should not have any negotiations, because if you have a negotiation, your energy will also go down, and the solution you will also not be able to find. But with mode of passion, you can negotiate a little bit, and you can come to goodness. So that's what Hanuman did. So Hanuman gave this reason that the demons will become stronger in the night. So that's why 9 to 3 is a mode of ignorance period. We should, as much as possible, we should try to take rest at that time. And even Ayurveda recommends that if the 6 hours sleep, if you take 9 p.m. to 3 a.m., then you will not feel tired any other day. 6 hours will be sufficient, and you will be as good as a vibrant person actually throughout the day. Okay. So that's why we should plan our day. That is the purpose of this chapter, basically, how we can remain in goodness and we can transcend goodness also to achieve unalloyed goodness. So let's read the 11th verse. Today we are covering the second section of the 14th chapter, which is telling in detail what are different things in three modes of nature. What are the characteristics? What is the nature of the action? What is the death? If you die in mode of goodness, what is the destiny? If you die in mode of passion, what is the destiny? If you die in mode of ignorance, what is the destiny? So let's start reading from the 11th verse. You can repeat after. Sarvadvareshu dehesmin. Please repeat.
सर्वद्वारेषु देहेऽस्मिन् प्रकाश उपजायते.
Oh, that's it. सर्वद्वारेषु देहेऽस्मिन् प्रकाशोपजायते ज्ञानं यदा तदा विद्या विवृद्धं सत्वमिति उत. Please repeat.
ज्ञानं यदा तदा विद्याद्
विवृद्धं
सत्त्वं
सत्येता
मित्युति.
Yeah. Uti. So the manifestation of the mode of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of the body are eliminated by knowledge. So this is very important words. If you are in mode of goodness, then all the problems in your body will be gone. And all the 9 holes of the body will be illuminated by knowledge. You will be feeling blissful. The 2 eyes, the 2 nostrils, the 2 ears, the mouth, nose and genitals. Everything will be blissful. So it is said that your eyes are the reflection of the mind. If your mind is in mode of goodness, automatically your eyes will be reflecting it. They will just develop like the lotus flowers. In 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a description of Vishnu Dutas. And in that, the eyes of the Vishnu Dutas are compared to the leaf of the lotus flowers. So that is the symptom of mode of goodness. So there are 9 gates in the body, 2 ears, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, the mouth, genitals, and lungs. When every gate is illuminated by the symptoms of goodness, it should be understood that one has developed the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, one can see things in the right position. One can hear things in the right position, and one can taste things in the right position. One becomes cleansed inside and outside. In every gate, there is development of the symptoms of happiness, and that is the position of goodness. So these are all very important. Like everything actually can be discussed in very detail. So when we say one can hear things in right position means one is able to understand the essence which the other person is trying to say. If we are hearing something else, we are hearing from with our filters, basically. So we are not able to see the right things because we are seeing through our filters of passion and ignorance. Okay. If we are in too much mode of passion, we will like food which is very spicy or food which is full of oil, junk food. We will not like good, nice mode of goodness khichdi. So mode of goodness is what puts us in the right position. We can see things as they are. Bhagavad Gita as it is means Prabhupada is giving the knowledge as it is. So similarly, mode of goodness gives the knowledge as it is. That's why Prabhupada writes in Nectar of Instruction that once a person who wants to advance in spiritual life, his first goal should be to control his mind and senses, and then he will come to mode of goodness. And when he comes to mode of goodness, then everything else which is required will be further revealed. So mode of goodness is very, very important for making spiritual advance. Okay, please repeat. Lobha pravrittirarambha karmana samasriha rajasi ethani jayante vivridhe bharatarshava. Ankush Prabhu, can you read the translation?
Yes, Prabhu. O chief of the Bharatas, when there is an increase in the mood of passion, the symptoms of great attachment, fruitive activity, intense endeavor, and uncontrollable desire and hankering develop.
So mode of passion is characterized by a lot of activity. There is no satisfaction basically. There is a lot of activity. If you see that verse Brahma Bhuta Prasanna. One second. Yeah, sorry for the interruption. So basically, there is a verse in the 18th chapter, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, Na Shochiti Na Kamshati, Samak Sarveshu Bhuteshu, Mad Bhaktim Labate Var. So Prabhupada says that, Krishna also says that this is the Brahman platform and this is where bhakti starts. Right? And the symptoms of this platform is Na Shochiti Na Kamshati. One is not lamenting for the past and one is not hankering for the future. Obviously, we should do some elementary planning. है ना? We are doing bhakti at this point also so that our future is good. But we should not speculate too much about our future because let Krishna do that. Even Arjuna is also having some convictions that why he should fight, why he should not. An intelligent person should try to do that analysis, should try to analyze the pros and cons of every action what he is doing. So that is not hankering about future. We are just planning our present so that our future is good, right? But here you will see that mode of passion is characterized by hankering. It is characterized by uncontrollable desire, intense endeavor. I want to enjoy. I want to work. I want promotion. I want. Just I and my I and mine. Aham mameti. It's full of that. So actually, this is mode of passion, and this takes us away from the Brahman realization. And Brahman realization is the starting of Krishna consciousness. Brahman realization means it's a platform from where we can start practicing Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada in many purports say that the real bhakti can be performed by purified senses. And purified senses is when you come to the Brahman realization. One in the mode of passion is never satisfied with the position he has already acquired. He hankers to increase his position. If he wants to construct a residential house, he tries his best to have a palatial house, as if he would be able to reside in that house eternally. And he develops a great hankering for sense gratification. There is no end to sense gratification. He always wants to remain with his family and in his house and to continue the process of sense gratification. There is no cessation of this. All these symptoms should be understood as characteristics of the mode of passion. So if your salary is 50,000, you want to earn 2 lakhs. If your salary is 2 lakhs, then you want to earn 5 lakhs. If your salary is 5 lakhs, then you want to earn 10 lakhs. Similarly, if you have a 2 BHK house, you want to have a 4 BHK. If you have 4 BHK, you want to have your own independent house. If you have independent house, you want to build a palace. So this greediness never finishes. It goes on increases. Ishwaram Aham Bhogi. In 16th chapter also Krishna is telling about demoniac qualities. That a demon is actually thinking that Ishwaram Aham Bhogi. Balavan Sukhi. So this much I have these many crores right now. This will become these many crores in next 10 years. And I am so powerful with this money. I'm so powerful with my possessions. So all this is demoniac thinking actually. Mode of passion tends you towards demoniac qualities. So that's why we have to come out of it. We have to stay happy and satisfied with whatever little Krishna gives. From our side, we should serve Krishna. We should serve our body. We should serve our family members. We should do service as a part and parcel of Krishna to everybody. And we should be happy and satisfied with whatever little Krishna gives. We should not be always hankering and thinking what other person has. We should be happy with whatever we have. Because every person, every living entity has a purpose. And Krishna knows that purpose. Krishna has gifted each one of us with some quality. So we should be grateful. We should increase the feeling of gratitude towards Krishna, whatever qualities he has given us. And we should try to utilize those qualities in Krishna's service by serving the devotees, by propagating this movement of Krishna consciousness. So you can see that whatever we want to do in Krishna consciousness, mode of passion will kill it actually. So, but yeah, like most of us there will be some tinge of passion. Because one good thing about passion is passion will help you to come little bit above the ignorance. Because in Kali Yuga, ignorance is increasing a lot. There is dearth of brahmanas, there is dearth of cows, dearth of rivers. So automatically ignorance is increasing. So somehow little bit passion is also okay. But ultimately we have to come to mode of goodness. As far as you are able to manage mode of ignorance, you can use mode of passion, but ultimately you should be in mode of goodness. Any questions on till now? So we'll continue. Aprakasho pravrittisya. You can repeat.
Abhidasho parvartisya
Pramado moha eva cha.
pramado moha
Tamasi etani jayante.
tamasi etani jayante
Vivriddhe kurunandana.
vivriddhe kurunandana.
Ah. So when there is an increase in mode of ignorance, O son of Kuru, darkness, inertia, madness, and illusion are manifested. So when there is no illumination, knowledge is absent. One in the mode of ignorance does not work by a regular difference, but he wants to act whimsically for no purpose. So what Swati Mataji was telling is important that we should follow all the rules and regulations. At least we will not fall into mode of ignorance. But we should follow the rules and regulations by understanding that these rules and regulations are meant to take us closer to Krishna. They are meant to increase our bhakti. It is not meant to basically have try to dominate the other person. Sometimes we pose these rules and regulations very strongly on the other person, but it is for ourselves. It is not for the other person. For the other person, we should have more love and compassion. Even though he has the capacity to work, he makes no endeavor. This is called illusion. Although consciousness is going on, life is inactive. These are the symptoms of one in the mode of ignorance. Yeah. So he is thinking so many things, but he is not able to move. He is not able to complete any task. He has the capacity, but he doesn't make any endeavor in the right direction. So life is inactive. Okay. Yada sattve pravriddhe tu
Yada sattve pravardetu
pralayam yati dehabhrit
pralayam yati
tadottama vidam lokan
tadottama vedam lokan
amalan pratipadyate.
amalan pratyate.
When one dies in the mode of goodness, he attains to the pure higher planets of the great sages. So now in the next three verses, it will be explained that if you die in one of the modes of nature, then what will be your destiny. So whatever we cultivate in this life, the same destiny we get in the next life. That's why it's very important to cultivate the right qualities, right divine qualities. So in Nectar of Instruction also, Prabhupada says that Bhaj Dhatu means cultivation. In the sixth chapter, last verse also, Yoginam api sarvesham madkhaten antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamomati. So we have to cultivate this devotion towards Krishna. And this is an activity. Yeah, this is not a dormant thing. Yes. Simran Mataji, you want to read?
One in goodness attains higher planetary systems like Brahmaloka or Jnanaloka, and there enjoys godly happiness. The word Amalan is significant. It means free from the modes of passion and ignorance. There are impurities in the material world, but the mode of goodness is the purest form of existence in the material world. There are different kinds of planets for different kinds of living entities. Those who die in the mode of goodness are elevated to the planets where great sages and great devotees live. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So basically, Brahmaloka, Janaloka, you know that there are four Kumaras who are always traveling between Satyaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka. So these are all devotees who are totally in mode of goodness. And their degree of freedom has increased so much that they can fly and go at whatever planet they want. Super Soul gives them some information and they immediately follow that information. So it's always better to be in mode of goodness. So basically, when somebody dies, generally, if somebody dies in mode of goodness, the soul leaves through the forehead. So as a body also, we should see that where our hairs are concentrated. Kapha, Vata, Pitta. The more you are in mode of goodness, the more the hairs actually they ascend, and they are higher energy hairs which condense and intensify in the mind, and you are always feeling happy. If the hairs are getting stuck, negative hairs below the navel, then basically that is mode of ignorance. And wherever the majority hairs will get stuck, the soul will live through that gate at the time of death. If you are in mode of goodness, the soul will leave through the forehead. If you are in mode of ignorance, the soul will leave below the navel. If you are in mode of passion, it might leave through the chest. So like this, you can determine at the time of death the destiny of a person. That's why many people who are very senior, for example, one of my friends from college, his grandfather left his body and his forehead burst, like there was some blood coming out of the forehead, and that was a proof that the soul left from the forehead. So that's why we should be aware that what is happening in our body, and according to that we should take proper measures so that we can remain in mode of goodness. We can execute our life in goodness. रजसी प्रलयं गत्वा कर्मसंगीषु जायते तथा प्रलीनस्तमसि मूढयोनिषु जायते. Aditi Mataji, you want to read translation? Or Swati Mataji? Prabhjit Prabhu.
When one dies in the mode of passion, he takes birth among those engaged in fruitive activities. And when one dies in the mode of ignorance, he takes birth in the animal kingdom.
Yes. Can you read the purport also, Mataji?
Some people have impression that when the soul reaches the platform of human life, it never goes down again. This is incorrect. According to this verse, if one develops the mode of ignorance after his death, he is degraded to an animal form of life. From there, one has to again elevate himself by an evolutionary process to come again to the human form of life. Therefore, those who are actually serious about human life should take to the mode of goodness and in good association transcend the modes and become situated in Krishna consciousness. This is the aim of human life. Otherwise, there is no guarantee that the human being will again attain to the human status.
Yes, yes. Very important words actually. So that's why in second chapter Krishna says Neha Vikrama Nashvasti Pratyavayona Vidyate Swalpam Apiyasya Dharmasya. What is the ending of this verse? Prabhjit Prabhu? Trayate Mahato Maya.
मुझे आपकी वॉइस क्लियर नहीं आ रही थी.
वॉइस क्लियर नहीं आ रही. किसी को भी नहीं आ रही?
मुझे ब्रेक हो रही है
2
बीच
minutes.
Break हो रही है. Okay. Yeah, वाला गाड़ी. अब आ रही है आवाज?
जी प्रभु.
ठीक है. तो ये जो वर्ष है नेहा विक्रम नाशवस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पम अभियस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयः. So Krishna is telling Arjuna in the second chapter 40th verse that even if you make a little amount of advancement, it can save you from greatest of dangers. So what is the greatest of dangers for a human being?
What is the
Greatest of dangers आवाज नहीं आ रही क्या अभी भी?
Greatest of dangers, Prabhuji, is death.
डेथ तो सबको आनी ही है, डेंजर कैसे हुआ? डेथ
One
Yeah.
should not be fallen down from its current mode. Suppose somebody is in mode of passion, he must be try to elevate himself to mode of goodness rather than uh, falling down to mode of ignorance.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Hinamata, you want to say something?
Yeah, I think that greatest danger is to fall down to animal kingdom.
Ah, yes, yes. And why we will fall into animal kingdom?
When they do those things that is not human, or when they don't elevate themselves for Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, like basically mode of ignorance. If you are in mode of ignorance, then there is a for sure danger to fall into animal kingdom. So that is the greatest danger, because once you enter the animal species, then you have to take 8,400,000 births, and that takes a long time actually, and a lot of suffering. Again and again, you have to enter into the womb of a mother. So it's a very painful process. In the womb, you can't even breathe. Whatever mother is eating, you have to survive on that. So, like, it's a very dangerous situation actually. Krishna is protecting us in the womb. So that is the danger. And if you are in mode of ignorance, then there is every chance to glide down into the animal species. Okay. Karmana sukratasyahu
कर्मणा सुकृतशाहो
satvikam nirmalam phalam
सात्विकं
Nirmalam phalam.
rajasastu phalam dukkham
Rajasastu phalam dukkham.
ajnanam tamasa phalam.
Ajnanam tamsa phalam.
The result of pious action is pure and is said to be in the mode of goodness. But action done in the mode of passion results in misery, and action performed in the mode of ignorance result in foolishness. So, can you give an example of a pious action? Anybody?
Devotional service.
Devotional service, yes. Devotional service, chanting, hearing, reading, waking up early in the morning, doing Mangal Aarti, going to bed early. This is pious activity for us. Anything else?
Feeding cows.
Feeding cows, pious activity, feeding brahmanas, and even trying to distribute prasadam, opening hospitals, that also comes in pious activity. That is not exactly Krishna conscious activity, but any act which you do for the welfare of other people on bodily level also, that is also pious activity. That is not Krishna conscious activity. And can you give an example of
Service of the bhaktas, devotees.
Yes, very nice. Serving the devotees, pious activity. That is a transcendental activity actually. And can anybody give example of action and activity in mode of passion? I think we have already
Snap decisions.
impulsive decisions, yes. So that results in misery, basically. If your decisions are impulsive, if you are running here and there, suppose at night you feel hungry, you eat 5 liters of chocolate or 5 liters of ice cream. Next day morning, you wake up at 7 o'clock and spend the entire day in the toilet, right? So that is misery, basically. If you do this, human body is not meant for a lot of sense gratification also. If you want to do a lot of sex, you should take pigeon body. If you want to eat more, you should take elephant body. If you want to sleep more, then you should take bear body. So different bodies are there for different categories of sense gratification. So our human body is meant for realizing our connection with Krishna. That's what we should do. We should serve Krishna. We should cook prasadam. associate with devotees, do bhajan, and take prasad. So that is when we will understand what is the purpose of our body. And that's why there is so much agitation in this society. They are not able to, they don't have that opportunity to cultivate their relationship with Krishna. And that's why they are not feeling satisfied. They are always agitated. Okay. Anybody? Prabjit, you want to read? Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. The result of pious activities in the mood of goodness is pure. Therefore, the sages, who are free from all illusion, are situated in happiness. But activities in the mood of passion are simply miserable. Any activity for material happiness is bound to be defeated. If, for example, one wants to have a skyscraper, so much human misery has to be undergone before a big skyscraper can be built. The financier has to take much trouble to earn a mass of wealth, and those who are slaving to construct the building have to render physical toil. The miseries are there. Thus, Bhagavad Gita says that in any activity performed under the spell of mode of passion, there is definitely great misery. There may be a little so called mental happiness. I have this house or this money. But this is not actual happiness.
Yeah, this is not actual happiness. The actual happiness is when you experience Krishna. So, for example, in Bhagavatam, Prabhupada gives this example that in mode of passion, we are creating roads, we are creating vehicles, we are buying vehicles. But what it leads to? It leads to traffic jams. It leads to bad health. Too much traveling leads to more tiredness. Mode of goodness is lost. So ultimately, we are increasing our problems by solving the problems by giving material solutions. So these things have to be thought out. That are we increasing the problems or are we decreasing the problems? Okay. Yes, Prabhu. Any question? You want to read?
इस प्रभु जी आगे का भी पढ़ना है.
हाँ ये वाला पढ़ लीजिए.
As far as the mode of ignorance is concerned, the performer is without knowledge, and therefore all his activities result in present misery. And afterwards, he will go on toward animal life. Animal life is always miserable. Although under the spell of the illusory energy, Maya, the animals do not understand this. Slaughtering poor animals is also due to mode of ignorance. The animal killers do not know that in the future the animal will have a body suitable to kill them. That is the law of nature. In human society, if one kills a man, he has to be hanged. This is the law of the state. Because of ignorance, people do not perceive that there is a complete state controlled by the Supreme Lord. Every living creature is a son of Supreme Lord, and he does not tolerate even an ant's being killed. One has to pay for it. So indulgence in animal killing for the taste of tongue is the grossest kind of ignorance. A human being has no need to kill animals because God has supplied so many nice things. If one indulges in meat eating anyway, it is to be understood that he is acting in ignorance and is making his future very dark. Of all kinds of animal killing, the killing of cows is most vicious because the cow gives us all kind of pleasure by supplying milk. Cow slaughter is an act of the grossest type of ignorance. In Vedic literature, Rig Ved 9.46.4, the words Gobiha Prinita Matsaram indicate that one who being fully satisfied by milk is desirous of killing a cow is the grossest ignorance. There is also a prayer in Vedic literature that states.
हाँ बस इतना ही पता. तो इसमें आप देखेंगे कि instead of constructing roads, if we can have our own farm, if we can have our own cows, bulls, we can do our agriculture. In Nectar of Instruction also Prabhupada says that if we have 1 acre of land, 1 cow, 1 bull, then we don't need to depend on anybody else. And cow's milk is actually liquefied dharma. It is known as liquefied dharma because it helps you to follow dharma. If you don't take dinner, you take 2 glasses of milk before going to bed, warm milk, little bit ghee you put, little bit turmeric you put. In the morning at 3 o'clock, for sure your sleep will open. You will not be able to sleep after 3:30. And you will feel so enlightened actually. So much energy is there in your body. Because milk is, pure cow milk is liquefied dharma. It helps you to follow dharma. It helps you to wake up at the right time, do the right things at the right time. It gives you intelligence where you can, yeah. Mhm.
ये 2 घंटे होने
Okay.
जाते हैं
सत्वात् संजायते ज्ञानं रजसो लोभ एव च प्रमादमोहसो भवतो ज्ञानमेव च. Can somebody read the translation?
I'll read it. From the mode of goodness, real knowledge develops. From the mode of passion, greed develops. And from the mode of ignorance, develop foolishness, madness, and illusion.
You can read the purport also.
Okay. Purport. Since the present civilization is not very congenial to the living entities, Krishna consciousness is recommended. Though through Krishna consciousness, society will develop the mode of goodness. When the mode of goodness is developed, people will see things as they are. In the mode of ignorance, people are just like animals and cannot see things clearly. In the mode of ignorance, for example, they do not see that by killing one animal, they are taking the chance of being killed by the same animal in the next life. Because people have no education in actual knowledge, they become irresponsible. To stop this irresponsibility, education for developing the mode of goodness of the people in general must be there. When they are actually educated in the mode of goodness, they will become sober, in full knowledge of things as they are. Then people will be happy and prosperous. Even if the majority of the people aren't happy and prosperous, if a certain percentage of the population develops Krishna consciousness and becomes situated in the modes of goodness, then there is the possibility for peace and prosperity all over the world. Otherwise, if the world is devoted to the modes of passion and ignorance, there can be no peace or prosperity. In the mode of passion, people become greedy and their hankering for sense enjoyment has no limit. One can see that even if one has enough money and adequate arrangements for sense gratification, there is neither happiness nor peace of mind. That is, one is situated in the mode of passion. If one wants happiness at all, his money will not help him. He has to elevate himself to the mode of goodness by practicing Krishna consciousness. When one is engaged in the mode of passion, not only is he mentally unhappy, but his profession and occupation are also very troublesome. He has to devise so many plans and schemes to acquire enough money to maintain his status quo. This is all miserable. In the mode of ignorance, people become mad. Being distressed by their circumstances, they take shelter of intoxication, and thus they sink further into ignorance. Their future in life is very dark. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Can you explain a little bit what you understood? Yes.
when they are it's mainly the people should be educated for goodness, in the mode of goodness. If they are not, then the problems will arise. They have many we want this, we want that, everything. They become greedy. they uh, they uh, they are always trying for sense enjoyment.
Yes, yes, correct.
Yeah.
Because money cannot, like, you cannot eat money, right? Like, even if you earn 1 crore of rupees every month, you cannot eat the notes. Ultimately, you have to eat 2 chapatis only. And that too, if you offer to Krishna, then if you take prasadam, then you will be satisfied. So money is not everything. Money will not give satisfaction to the senses, to the spiritual senses. And mode of passion, all the activities are troublesome because we want to do more, we want to enjoy more, we want bigger house, we want more money. So then more energy is required to maintain these things of the world. So in the last verse, I was saying that that's why Varnashrama is important. To protection of cows and brahmanas is important because that will give us a way to become self-sufficient. Otherwise, if you depend on other people, for example, in metropolitans like Bangalore and Hyderabad, Bombay, all the MNCs are there. They, they give you 2 lakh of rupees, but they will, like, for only maybe 4-5 hours of work. But in a sense, you become dependent on them. You don't receive full satisfaction by that money. But if you are close to nature, if you are serving the cows, serving the Mother Earth, serving Brahmanas, then whatever Krishna gives, you will receive, you will be happy and satisfied. So Varnashrama is important. If somebody is doing that, then you should support them. Because it's difficult also in Kali Yuga. Most of the people, they don't have sufficient energy to engage in field work. So, yeah. And because real mode of goodness will come when you do Brahminical activities, when you do Varnashrama. Just like Abhiram Prabhu is Vice Chancellor of University. So he is guiding so many people. He is engaged in Brahminical activities. He is Brahman initiated by Maharaj. So like this, we have to promote these people who are trying to operate on the Brahminical blood. Then mode of goodness can increase. And here it is written that only if 1% of population becomes Krishna conscious, then there will be peace and prosperity in the society. Because Krishna consciousness, it's a very high standard. Right? You should not envy, you should be compassionate on all the other people who are suffering. You should not judge. For example, brahmachari should not judge grastas. If you are working at workplace, you should not judge. He is working so hard, he is so foolish. You should not think like that. You should be compassionate. You should give them prasadam and just accept them as wherever they are and try to help them as according to their receptivity. So that's why even 1% people, if they become Krishna conscious, that will make the world a better place. Okay, any questions? We'll end with this words. I think we'll finish the chapter in the next lecture. Okay, if no questions, then we'll meet next Sunday. Thank you all for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.